Okay, this is a new for 2025 Halloween animatronic sold at Home Depot. Uh, it's called the Home Accents. It's the maker. Holiday from the group Gruesome Grounds collection. This guy is called the Cursed Clover. The Cursed Clover Leprechaun sold new for 2025. Sold at Home Depot for $179. The Gruesome Grounds collection, they had a collection of these. Sold at Home Accents. Home Accents is one of the cheaper prop makers, I think, but this guy seems to me to be fairly well made. I guess they can put a little money in it since it's a short prop. This guy is 4.5 feet tall, from head to toe. I actually have him on a little tote there to give him a little bit of height, because I didn't feel like bending down for this video. When he's plugged in and activated, he has the lights on only, where no animations. He just sits there with his lights on. Or you can have it turn the switch off, and with it off, he does have a step pad try me switch. Well, not a switch, but when it's off, he has the try me step pad. And if you plug in either a try me or a step pad, even when it's off, it will animate him for one complete cycle. That's according to the manual. And then he has full on. And on, he will work off the infrared sensor. On, his lights again will stay on. But on, there is a timer built in where it will stay on. His lights will stay on, and he will activate with the infrared for 6 hours. And then it will turn off for 18 hours. A built-in timer on it. Kind of interesting with that. He does have an infrared sensor. It's up here in his hat. The button in his head, and again, normally he's 4.5 feet tall, so he's sitting low, but I have him sitting on this tote here, and that infrared center is pointed up a little bit, so it will still catch an adult coming by, even though it's on top of his hat and pointed up a little bit. If I didn't mention it, he sold for $179, and I had a kids area for my haunt because my haunt got too scary for a lot of the young kids. But even though this year, 2025, it's November 2nd, and I already did my haunt, almost all the kids, young or old, scary or not, they went to the scary part. And again, it scared to death some of the younger kids, but we made the not too scary area. But nobody would go through it because everybody wanted to big haunt, but we tried to warn them, right? It works off of a 5.9 volt walwort adapter that plugs into his control box here. His control box is pretty minimal. Again, Home Accents is not the best prop maker, actually one of the cheapest, but he's built well again. But this control box is minimal, just has a volume control, the plug-in for the power adapter walwort, and then the try me foot switch jack, and then over here is just the switch for the on off or lights only on the left, and then step pad try me in the middle. Even though it's off, it's just off until the step pad or try me is activated. And to the right is that 18-hour cycle. Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in, but it blurs up. But according to the manual, when you turn it all the way right with it on, the lights are light, and again with the infrared sensor, it will activate. But it's on a 6-hour timer. Once you turn it on, it'll work for 6 hours, and then it will automatically shut off for 18 hours. There is no speaker jack. and there is no battery box in this. It's interesting that a lot of new props, even some of the premium or better ones, don't have a battery box anymore. I do like the battery box, but I did mention, and I did this on a few of my props, that I couldn't get power to is I use a Ryobi power inverter, and I plug the inverter into the power adapter. That's my little wall there, and I powered off the Ryobi 18-volt battery going into an inverter to do that, so I can run it off batteries. So anyway, that's about all the talking. So we're gonna wave by his big head and activate him.
Gather round, you treasure hunters. My gold glimmers with a deadly light, and my axe swings with a cursed might. Every step you take brings you closer to fate. Better run away before it's too late.
He has 3 animations, which I like. He has a body turner, a big mouth mover, and then he swings his axe and his arms, toward the end of his animation. He has 5 sayings. Not bad for a 179 prop, but again, it's not, well, I guess he's life size for a leprechaun, which is, this is supposed to be. But 4.5 foot tall. Comes in a rather large box. I got it folded up and all that, because that's what I do with my boxes. I keep them and I fold them up like that, and either I put my props, leave them together, or a lot of them I do break them down and I put them in totes like this. Haven't decided if I'm going to break him down or not. I did have my helper put this guy together, and one thing he did, my helper did, is he had the pants on backwards. The Velcro, where it Velcros to the boot, is on the front of the pants, and I was trying to tighten it down before I put them away, and I was like, why his pants won't stay where they're supposed to stay. And what my helper did was had the pants on backwards, and I looked through the manual, and there's the front and the back of the pants. The tag goes on the back, and if you did like my helper did, it probably took me 15 minutes 20 minutes to take him apart enough to turn his pants around to get his pants right. So that's just something to keep an eye on, I guess. We're gonna turn the lights off and activate them one more time. And by the way, that's a flashlight I get from Menards. Costs about $2 each. They always have them on sale. It's a regular flashlight, and it also strobes. And at $2 each, I probably got 20, 30 of these guys, and I put them around, through my haunt. A cheap way to get flashers like that. Works real effective in a dark environment. Those run on, I believe, 2 AA batteries, and I like that. Don't have to spend 20 bucks for a Spirit Halloween flasher. Okay, one more time with the Cursed Clover Leprechaun.
Found because of gold, but at what cost? There is no rainbow here. Now face the swing of the golden axe. Prepare yourself, for the price of greed is higher than you can pay.
Okay, that's it for this one. Bye.